Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at SNX, see what's going on. I got a lot of requests for this one recently. I can see why. We've got 3 strong green days here from SNX, which is much better than most coins are right now. So that is good news. We're going to take a look at that. And if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, just love teaching people how to trade, I really hope you can learn something here today. My passion is to help you become better traders. So if you want to become a better one, CryptoCache.tech is the website. Of course, to register if you'd like to become a community member, I have a trading academy and I share signals for every single trade that I take as well. But also, ultimately, you can learn as much as you can from this, but I do talk a little bit more in depth about specific trading techniques in my academy, so maybe check that out in your own time if you're looking for a leg up. Once again, CryptoCache.tech. So taking a look here at SNX. First and foremost, we're up over the 50-day SMA. Now, we haven't closed officially yet today, but the likelihood is still probably quite high that we will. Therefore, that being said, right now we can see the 50-day SMA is working around $4.53, and we're trending closer to $5 right now. So looking very good here for SNX. It's pushing really hard. Of course, Bitcoin did pump just a little bit ago. Therefore, we're seeing a little extra leg up here, of course. But bottom line, 3 strong days here from SNX. Keep in mind, when you have 3 strong green days from any type of coin in any circumstance, be it cryptocurrency, stock trading, whatever the case, it's referred to as 3 white soldiers. So just know that the 4th day is commonly a red day, followed by 3 strong green days. Okay, so again, there's a likelihood we might see some consolidation or correction tomorrow. Just be a heads up on that. There's no guarantees. I've seen cryptocurrency prices go straight up for 9 days in a row, but literally that could happen and does frequently happen. So just heads up on that. Key takeaway here, though, is we're up over 50 on the RSI. That's extremely important. Back up above there, we're really, really looking good. And ultimately, there's nothing I see here that's adverse on the 1 day. All good stuff, right? All good signs here for SNX. There's no reason why it shouldn't continue. And the reason why, of course, because we have this nice, healthy little continuation pattern. This is a staircase pattern that I talk about. Yes, it jumped up a little bit higher right here. I would like for it to go sideways further. So it'd be ultimately the best if we can get some sideways action or retracement back down to $4.65. Again, we can't always get what we want, but that being said, it's nice to see this pump, of course. I'm not downplaying it at all. But on the same accord, in order for this to be a continuation higher and we don't see a 4th red day, we need to see this green candlestick right here kind of retrace and come back down a little bit. Or at the very least, consolidate sideways for some time longer. Let's take a look at TD sequential and see what's going on here. First of all, we're up over both moving averages, just to clarify. Very good stuff here. In other words, right around $4.21 would probably be the absolute bottom we're going to see for SNX moving forward, based on the simple fact that we have a nice amount of moving averages right there at that point. Okay. And now taking a look again at TD sequential, we got this, we hit up to a 9, and we jumped up, continued into overtime, got a reset down to a 2, now we're up to a 3. So hypothetically, we got about 6 more 4-hour candlesticks, roughly 24 hours worth of continuation of the upside, where we should expect to see the price push higher. Is that a guarantee? No. It's overextended, in my personal opinion, hitting a resistance level. There's a good chance we could see a correction. If it were to correct, the next lowest point should be 465. That would be awesome if it did correct, just based on the fact that we'd have a little bit of a healthier pattern here, because this strong increase we're seeing in the last 8 to 10 hours of 13%, I wouldn't say it's excessive by any means, but it is kind of a lot, right? So again, increased volume is important. It's nice to see a strong push in volume that's increasing. That is very helpful. That is causing the price to continue to stay higher. But also keep in mind too that, when you see a price jump up like this, the likelihood of it turning around is there, okay? But key takeaway here, we are making higher lows and still effectively higher highs now, okay? So all good stuff in that sense. This is a very healthy continuation, and the likelihood of it going up from here versus down from here is quite high. And I'm not saying that it's going to just go parabolic from here. I'm saying that we're probably going to see it go up and down a little bit, but for it to come down low, as long as it doesn't come any lower than $3.82 on this next retracement, we're going to be in really good shape. Preferably, it bounces off one of these 3 key level Fibonacci retracement lines and continues higher. That's the ultimate goal. It should essentially work that way based on the amount of volume that we're seeing here. In fact, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the volume profile. This is just roughly for the last year here. So in the last 3.5 months, what's the volume been looking like? Well, we got a strong amount of volume accumulation just above that most recent low, which is fantastic. Basically implying that the price were to come back down, it should not come back any lower than $4.04. Okay. Again, that volume support is extremely important. Having a strong base of volume below the current price point is extremely helpful, giving us that indication that we should have a nice support level if the price were to come back down. Okay, again, really good stuff there in that sense for SNX. Ultimately, there's nothing adverse I can see here, except for the fact that, again, this is the reason why I expect a pullback, based on the fact that RSI is extremely overextended. So when you get an RSI up over 70 on the 4 hour, to me that's usually a cause for concern in the sense that it's considered to be oversold, or sorry, correction, overbought, and then it's going to potentially retrace from there. So I think the likelihood of it going down in the immediate future is quite high, but long term, definitely to the upside, if that makes any sense. Okay, so just exercise caution when you see an RSI up over 70. A pullback is highly likely because, again, it's pushing too far too fast, and this hasn't had a chance to calm down. It needs to retrace a little bit, get that nice staircase pattern before it legs up again. Looking at the MACD, of course, we had a MACD convergence on the 15th. A lot of other coins had that similar quality when Bitcoin decided to raise up pretty decent there. That was just the day before, effectively, we had that inflation confirmation. So looking at the 1 hour, this is, again, one of those causes for concern because, again, we're seeing a lot of movement in just a 2 hour time frame. But if we were to look at TD sequential, we can see we're at a 7. There is potential of about 2 more hours of continuation, or just say consolidation at the current price point before it comes back down. It may not consolidate immediately, but I think it's inevitable for the price to want to and should come down to make it a healthy pattern. Otherwise, if it keeps going this direction, we're going to see an unhealthy correction. Okay, so that's kind of just something to note. Now, taking a look at the cloud, obviously we have all green lights, so you have a position open. Do not sell it per se, but of course, depending on the type of position you have, you may want to consider taking profits because a pullback is likely. Okay, again, just based on what we see here so far with the charts, I'm just telling you what the facts are. You take your own position essentially, because obviously, you want to take ownership as your own trader, right? That's the whole point of my community, is to help you become more self-sufficient so you don't have to feel like you're reliant on me. And in that sense, I've been able to help a lot of people, get their wings, so to speak. And it's a really cool, rewarding aspect of the way that things are right now. And I can tell you it's a really cool situation. So be sure to check that out, of course. But all I'm trying to get at here is that it's important to establish your own trading style and to do right by you at all times. Always develop your own risk tolerance and kind of keep working on that. And if your risk tolerance right now is like, hey, I feel like it's overextended, I'm going to take some profits, go ahead. It'll continue higher eventually, but I don't think we're going to see a tremendous amount more from SNX in the immediate future. Once again, this is the third green day in a row. It's done very well, contrary to Bitcoin. It's done much better than most coins have recently. Minus OGN and a couple of other ones. And ultimately, I can say that SNX is probably going to recover quite nicely in the grand scheme of things. And we can see how much potential SNX has. I mean, it's at $5 right now. If it comes even close to its all-time high of 30, you're going to see a 5x from this coin. I'm not saying that it's going to be up at $30 again anytime soon. It takes a very long time, if ever, for a price to come back to that same high. So remember, we had this crazy hype back in February, Bitcoin going crazy, everyone jumping into the market. There's so much volume at that time that right now is still kind of early, right? It's premature. But I think big picture, if you look at the bottom line here, SNX hit its bottom at $3.55. And if we were to look at the total volume profile, I know it's kind of skewed, but generally speaking, we have more volume higher than the current price point because of the fact that there was a lot less volume back here. Most people started to reinvest when the price came down to what they thought was an average price of $10.40. Truth be told, the price is lower than that now, so we will see some resistance there. But if we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see a stronger volume profile right there at about $3.90. Okay, so again, good volume just below the price point. Yes, we'll hit some turbulence when we hit the $10 range, but between now and then, we've got a lot of room for improvement. And one last thing to touch on too with the Fibonacci levels that I put up here, kind of help you understand big picture and where it's going to go. So if the price were to continue on this trend, just say we have a nice pullback, healthy consolidation followed by a further increase, we could see somewhere in the range of $6 to $7, probably more so $5.90 to $6.50 as a better case scenario within the next month or possibly even a couple of weeks. Because if you can see, it's done this much. What is it? That's roughly about 30%. So that same amount of travel would put us in the $6 range within the next 3 or 4 days. Again, there's potential there. Am I telling you we're going to get to $6 in 3 days? No. If we do, I'd actually be very concerned because that would be too much movement in a short amount of time, and we don't like to see that. Healthy pullback followed by a strong amount of volume, and we're going to get there just fine. Anyways, SNX should be a strong return on investment here soon. I recommend considering an entry, of course, because big picture, this coin has a tremendous potential. All right, I hope you found benefit. I'll go ahead and cover this again here soon. Thanks again for your time. If you're not currently a community member, CryptoCache.tech is the site. I look forward to working with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.